Mechanical keyboards. I want to build one. Well, really I've only used two in the past, but they've been store-bought ones. One of them were a just generic Orkey Otema Blue Switches keyboard that I used to use for actually quite a few years. But then when I switched to this desk, I was like, might as well change it up. And that's when I stumbled upon the Logitech G915 TKL. It's got a nice backlight. I literally just leave it in white. I don't like having RGB on all the time. It's wireless with 2.4 gigahertz and Bluetooth, and it has some macro keys. I started experiencing some problems with this keyboard. The W key would sometimes not press, or it would double press. And the other problem was that the play pause button stopped working. If I want to press it down anymore, then I need to like smash it and just and then it'll click. It might be really quiet, but this thing is so rattly. Oh my god, there is not a single bit of lubricant in this whole thing. None of the switches are lubricated. There is no lube in the stabilizers. Because the keys they're using are like Choco switches, side to side, in terms of wobble, they're actually alright. But up-down wobble is so bad. It's like when I'm trying to type on it and it moves like back and forward, it's just so jarring. It's not a great experience. They're really scratchy. There's no lubricant in them. They're not great. Which is why I want to build one. I don't want to go with anything crazy for this. I was trying to keep it around £100, maybe less, because that would actually undercut what I paid for the Logitech keyboard. Which is why I got the Matthew-Tech MK86. It is a TKL or 75% keyboard that has a nice volume knob there. From what I know, it's all wait, hang on, I can probably just check the AliExpress listing. On this as well! Oh, I'm so good brain, hang on a minute. 75% keyboard, it's an all plastic board, which is fine, but it has 2.4 gigahertz wireless, Bluetooth, and it can be used with a Type-C cable. Fantastic. That is great. Literally don't need any more connectivity than that. It has RGB backlighting, which if I'm honest, I'm just going to set to white. It has a polycarbonate plate for the plate, 5,000 milliamp hour battery, meaning it should last a pretty long time. And if you do connect this with Bluetooth, you can actually have 3 devices connected to it at once, and you can switch between them. And it's hot swap. This keyboard is weak, durable to 200 hours. With non-stop using under backlight off status, fully charged require only 6 to 7 hours. Huh? Wait. What does that mean? With non-stop using under backlight off status. Oh! Oh! It's saying that the battery will last 200 hours if the backlight is turned off. And that it will charge to full in 6 to 7 hours. It also has some software control. I don't think it's QMK or VAL. Is that the other one? VAL? I don't think it supports either of them. It might have its own proprietary firmware, so I'll have to look into that once I build it and once I test it on this. For switches, I went with Akko Creamy V3 Blue Pro. What makes them pro? I don't know. But they are pretty nice switches. They are tactile switches, as it says, already lubed, meaning I don't need to do much work. I don't want to lube my switches, partially because I already broke one of the tools, but you know, they seem pretty nice. They were only like, I think there was around, how much was it, like £20? £20 is for two boxes of these, each 45 keys each in each box. So, pretty good deal. I will probably use them in other keyboards in the future. Why tactiles? Couldn't tell ya. I'm not joking. My switch selection process was going on to AliExpress, typing tactile switches and clicking whatever was there. And that came up, so that's what I chose. For my keycaps, I'm using a £5 set I also found on AliExpress. Why did I go with the £5 ones? Because they were cheap. I should have really gone with more expensive ones, but they were just what I chose to go with. Are they great? Not really. They are fine. They seem to be double shot. Whether they truly are, I don't know. But they also seem to be a clone of a GMK set. I'll have the actual, like, the real set here. But for £5, if I'm honest, I'm not really complaining. Will I probably change them out in the future? Yes, because who knows how long these things are going to last. And something else I noticed, I don't know if you can tell, but some of the fonts on the keys are not really that consistent. So it looks kind of rubbish. Like the N is smaller than everything else, the R is tiny, the E is as big as the T. They're not lined up properly, and you'll probably see that on the actual keyboard when I build it. It's kind of all over the place when you're looking at the keys and seeing what's actually written on them. So will I replace it? Probably. But for now, they're fine. With that said and done though, it's time to build the actual keyboard. This thing's amazing. I love this thing so much. It's not, for what it is, it's actually pretty good. The keycaps, like I said before, are super inconsistent and they need to change. But if I'm honest, it looks really good. And the RGB effect it has, I just have it in like a breathing white RGB effect right now. There is a lot of options, but even without software control. The case feels alright. The case is all plastic. There is no metal to be found on the case. But if I'm honest, it's a pretty good feeling plastic. Kind of sounds a little hollow, but I don't think it's too bad. I don't want to... It's not easy to take apart as well. There's no screw holes on the back of the keyboard. It's all like clips and stuff, I think. So I don't really want to take it apart. Not that I really need to. I was thinking about maybe, I don't know, putting in some foam or something. But it sounds so good even without it. I'm sure I could make it sound better. But compared to my old one, whoo! This thing, whoo! Whoo, boy! Hello, it's Editing Vinny. I just wanted to make a couple points because by this point I've been using the keyboard for around 2 weeks now. For one, as you can tell, the keycap set has changed. The legend on it is basically the same with the same inconsistencies as I mentioned before, but it's a nice colour scheme, I think. And this time there weren't any weird missing parts or like the wrong delete key like on the old set. Using this keyboard in Linux for the most part has actually been a good experience. I haven't had too many problems with it, except from the fact my function keys don't work properly. Now, I don't know why it's behaving like this, but it's essentially behaving like the FN key is always pressed down. So I can't use my function keys as function keys. They're just used as, they're basically just 12 random macros that I can only really use one of them, and that's the play pause one. F5 and F6 are set to turn the brightness of the screen up and down, but this isn't a laptop, if you couldn't tell, so that's basically useless to me. It's fine in Windows. I've tried it in a Windows VM, I've tried it on a dedicated Windows computer. The keyboard behaves as it should. The function keys work, there's no strange things with the keys, nothing. The other problem I've had is sometimes certain keys, like the S key or the J key, will just stop working. And the only way to get it working again is to turn the keyboard off from the switch on the back, and then it's fine. I don't know why that happens, but it's been happening a few times now, and it gets a bit annoying, but it's fine. When it comes to the software experience of the keyboard, I got it to run on Linux with Wine, but I couldn't get the keyboard to detect. Now, I don't know if this was something that if I had to add a command thing or if I'm missing something for it to detect, I'm not sure. I'm not too experienced with Wine, but I tried it in a Windows VM and a Windows computer. It works. The software works fine. The download is a bit sketchy, I won't lie, because it's on a HTTP website, and that kind of doesn't give you a lot of confidence. Like, it's not HTTPS. You might want to update it to HTTPS, guys. Not that I'm complaining about like the board itself. The board itself is fantastic. The case feels great. The board feels great. The polycarbonate plate is good. But just the sound of this thing is miles. It's just not even miles. It's light years ahead of the old one. Should you build a custom mechanical keyboard? Probably, if I'm honest. This was £90, right? Now, you don't need to spend that much. There's a lot of flexibility with these keyboards, and you can obviously customize them to whatever you want, however you want. They're really good. They're really good. But yeah, that's about it for this one. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, then smash that like button, and maybe hit the subscriber button, because I don't know, maybe I'll make more of this. If people like it, I'll make more keyboard stuff. But I just really wanted to make this because I've been dying to make a keyboard, and I thought I might as well share it. But yeah, on that note, take care. Bye bye.